Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here and you're visiting us for the first time, hey, welcome, glad to see ya. And no time for fluff, pomp, and circumstance today because we have to discuss a whole lot of stuff when we look at the Transformers Titans Return Chaos on Velocitron entire box set. Stick around because there's surprisingly a lot to talk about, including some clues on the box and information, including some surprises with a couple of the figures. But we're going to cover everything to do with this whole set in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. Have a look at Universal Collision. We are nearing the end of Season 1. And check me out everywhere. This is the box for the Chaos on Velocitron set. Beautiful art on the front. There's no denying it. It looks great. This is also known as the Speed set. And based on the box art, I would venture to say, if we look at the edge of the box over here, I would venture to say we are going to get 4 box sets. I don't know if that's a spoiler or a promise or a confirmation, probably not, but I would say we're going to get 4 based on the stats that we usually get. This is the speed, it's highlighted red. We know we have the strength set coming. I guess that leaves intelligence and fire blast. On the back, of course, we have the product shots like you always see. And in the little bio, it talks about a race on Velocitron to control the power of speed. Speed over planets, other bots, and time itself. So there is, I guess, a little bit of a story, so to speak, elements that go along with this. Taking the box out of it, because at the end of the day it is just a box, we end up with a few other things of interest. First and foremost, we have the ever popular collector card, and as you can see, it's lovely artwork on it, but just like with the Combiner Wars ones, there's nothing on the back. By the way, you might notice a couple of cuts on my hand. I was trying to finally get around to putting out some of the stuff this summer, including my barbecue, and kind of gashed it on that. So, you know, that was fun. We have 2 instruction manuals, one for Quickswitch by himself, and then the other is for everybody else. When you put them together, it's pretty thick, kind of like, how can I say this? Kind of like having a car owner's manual. It's sort of big like that. Then we have, I'll bring this in next. Then we have this great big poster. It is the exact same art that's on the box that is on the card. Except now we got it in poster form. The real treat, though, is on the back of this. We have the bios that we're used to seeing on the cards here, and they're in 4 languages. And up top here it talks about a race to control the power of speed, and Rodimus won it. Yay, Rodimus! But in order to wield it, he had to give up his size and become a Titan Master? I don't understand that. I have no idea why that would be. But what a jip. Needless to say, he took it so that this power wouldn't fall in the hands of the Decepticons. And you can see his stats up here. They're all in blue because he just really offers a power-up. And it's a power-up, obviously, of speed. Okay. Then down here we have Fastclash, renamed from Fastlane, of course. And Fastclash is noted as being like a decoy and an escape artist. But yet you look at his stats and he's not particularly fast. I mean, he's the guy is average, you know, the guy is average. Next we have Nautica, who is an engineer that really kind of focuses on making things faster. I'll talk more about her a bit later. Her stats are good, actually. Along with her unnamed Titan Master head, who we'll also talk about a bit later. Over on the far side we have Quickswitch, the moody Quickswitch, who is able to change between modes so fast that he leaves everyone in utter confusion. And of course he has an unnamed Titan Master partner as well. And up top, of course, we have Laser Prime, who does have a cool ability. He can make a laser port, which is like a teleporting ability. Again, the Titan Master is unnamed. He is the mission leader, and you can see that the stats are, I would say, fairly appropriate for him as a mission leader. And of course, the last thing that we have in the box is this. As it falls around everywhere, it is the set itself. You can see that you have Fastclash over on the side, Nautica below him. Right in the middle you have the rather large Quickswitch, and of course you have Optimus over here, or Laser Prime, if you will. Interestingly, all of these were held in, of course, with plastic ties, and we have our Titan Masters up here, by the way, although one of them seems to have fallen. Ah, Prime's head fell. And I'm losing everything here. Interestingly, they were all held in with plastic ties, except for one going across here, and it was one of those paper ties that you used to see a lot of a few years ago. One paper tie. Anyway, that's all of the opening kind of paraphernalia and some interesting things there, like the bios, I would say clue, hint that we're going to be getting 3 more of these sets, and I guess it makes sense, and I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. And of course, the figures themselves. We're going to look at each of these one at a time and try and fly through them as quickly as possible. And so we begin with Rodimus Prime, the legendary Autobot leader. Okay, he's a Titan Master now, but I'll say this, he's the best Titan Master that we've gotten. It's exact same articulation. I mean, the head is you know, on a ball joint, as are the shoulders, and they can all move around. He can get in a seated position. Beautiful paint. One of the very few that we actually have paint on. You know, if you are okay with him being a Titan Master, I mean, it's a 10. It's the best one we've gotten. No doubt about it. But, I mean, it is what it is. Here he is as a robot. Here he is as a head. It's, you know, it's a nice head sculpt. There's no doubt. But I don't know what that color is on with the red. I don't know really what you call that. It's like a fuchsia type of thing. It's all right. You know, it's okay. It's something. It is something. I don't know what to think about this. The diecast is in the black of his lower legs, and on the head of Rodimus himself, the arms, the thighs, and the Titan Master head are still just plastic. Here he is next to the Hot Rod head. So you can see how both of them look together. It really depends on the aesthetic that you like. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if there's a right or a wrong. I like the Hot Rod head, but you know, to each their own. I see the argument for the Rodimus head for sure. I personally would like to have a full Rodimus figure. In terms of robot mode, opening him up and opening him up. A lot of people thought that they just repainted. A lot of people thought they just repainted the Hot Rod mold. They did not. They Did a little bit of remolding on the abs, on the arms, so it is a little bit different. Obviously the Rodimus one looks way better. Just to show him off, if you wanted a full-blown Voyager Rodimus, this is an option. It does kind of go with the Sentinel Prime body all right. There's, you know, it's passable, I think. I think you could do okay with it. I looked at Sentinel in full in episode, I think, 153, I want to say. So he can go with that. However, I think most people would like to see it with something else. And here he is on the Deluxe Class Titans Return Hot Rod, my custom one. I think the head might be a little bit too big proportional wise for this guy, but it might just be the paint on it. Maybe you see this and absolutely love it. He does stick in securely, has the exact same functionality as any other Titan Master. I looked at Hot Rod and the custom work I did on him in full in episode 227. So I would say a strong start to the set, because in terms of being a Titan Master, they're not really my thing. I've been giving them scores generally of about 2 or 3. A couple had, you know, good vehicles or whatever, and I gave them maybe a 5. This guy's a 10. This is what all of the Titan Masters should have been in terms of how that line should have gone. He does have some weight because of the die cast, so I think that that's really cool. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's the start that we have. So we're going to move on from him into the next one, and that's going to be Nautica. And here we have Nautica. She looks beautiful. I love the paint job on her. I'll say this, I'll even move her little head out of it for now. The paint that's on these fin wing things is a little bit of a slightly different shade than the plastic, but I still think that it's okay. I think it's passable. I think it is absolutely fine. She's pretty excellent, to be honest with you. If you don't know Nautica like me, I really don't know the character. She's basically an engineer that makes things go faster. She's friends with like Windblade and Chromia. I think she's from Camnus. She's kind of peppy and upbeat and spunky. I think she's part of the Lost Light crew. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about that. She turns into basically a space submarine, Cybertronian submarine. So we've seen this mold used for a Cybertronian car, a Cybertronian jet, now a Cybertronian sub. Okay. Alright, I guess that's what these turbine things are supposed to be. It's beautiful paint on it. Absolutely dig it. Totally. What else can I say about her right now? She stayed with Skids in his last dying breath. So I'm going to take her out of it. We're going to look at her couple of accessories. So taking her out of it, the very first thing to look at is her blaster. It's the exact same sort of one that came with, pardon me, that came with Blur and Brainstorm. You know, it's nice. It's now cast in this plastic. It's a nice color. It's like a fuchsia, I guess. So taking that out of it, we have the beautiful head. The center of the body isn't white, though it might look it on camera. It's sort of a soft pink along with the fuchsia, but of course besides that there is nothing at all. This will focus. Nothing at all painted on it. Exact same with the, you know, seated position, ball jointed arms and the little ball jointed Titan Master head. You know, next to the Rodimus Prime head, this is kind of not great. But when you do transform her, what a beautiful head sculpt. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the paint. There's even paint on her lips, if you can see that. And I don't know if you can, but wow, that really does pop and look good. So I'm a big fan. Now, taking that out of it, we'll bring her back in. I've never shown the transformation going from vehicle to robot, so I'll fly through it quickly. If you really need help with it, hey, check out my Brainstorm review. That was episode 206. Blur I believe was episode 138, but it's not a challenging transformation at all. So far, remember, Rodimus overall, he's a 10. So let's get into her now. The paint apps, I'm giving that a solid, I'm going to say a solid 9 just because it's beautiful. The articulation, I mean, she's fine in this mode. I don't know why a sub would have a tire, but hey, whatever. I guess I'm cool with it. And I'll talk a little bit more about the articulation now when we get her transformed. So first you untab the arms from the front and pull them out to the sides. Nothing outlandish yet. We open up the legs underneath and flip down her legs. We split them if they didn't already split on you, and close this over and pull out the toe. We flip in her spoiler piece into the leg. We close it over and flip out her toe. There's the lower body done. We open up her, if I can do it, her canopy. I guess I should back this up a bit so we can actually see it. Oh, you open up her canopy and flip up her belly section. See if I can bring this in a bit. Bring the canopy all the way down. Flip this piece back. When you do that, make sure that you flip it on. There's a lower hinge there and an upper hinge. Make sure you flip it on the lower hinge, the one that's right down by the body. Bring it all the way down. You want to make sure of that so that the tire back here can actually go into the slot that's on her back. And give her, her backpack. Of course, this can come off and we can put her little Titan Master partner in it. Flip down the arms so that they look like this. And then close the arms up, bend at the elbows, and there you go. Now normally you would flip back these pieces. I don't think you're supposed to with her. I think they're supposed to stay out with her. So again, I'm cool with that. Her head, because it doesn't have a name, and because her character is considered to be an outlier because she's exceptionally brilliant, and an outlier is something that has an ability that you wouldn't really expect them to have because of their alt mode. I guess a sub isn't brilliant. I've taken to calling her Titan Master partner Outlier. We take the Titan Master, and of course we just, if it will do it for me, which it doesn't want to do right now. There. We snap her head in. We stand her up and there she is, absolutely beautiful. Of course her blaster can still go on her forearm or in her hand, just like with this guy, Blur, exact same mold. And just like with this guy, who is Brainstorm. I like her. I like this mold. We have, arms out to the side. They can go all the way around. We have 90 degrees at the elbow and a bicep swivel. The head, it can go left and right. The legs can go all the way out to the side. We have a nice thigh swivel. We have 90 degrees at the knee. The toes can tilt. The waist swivels. Actually, the waist swivels on her better than it does on Blur or Brainstorm. Well, maybe not Brainstorm. Maybe about the same as Brainstorm. But better than it did on Blur. Blur, I had to shave some stuff off of the mushroom peg there because his body was popping apart. Articulation, honestly, even if you flip back these pieces, her fists swivel. She has pretty much everything that you could want her to have. Paint 9. Articulation 9.5. Transformation, not hard. If you like that transformation, it's a 9.5. She's a 9.5. We have a 10 for Rodimus Prime. We have a 9.5 for Nautica. I just don't know the character. Okay, we're going to move on from her, and next we're going to look at the one that I wanted the least, but it's a mold I've never looked at here on the channel. By the way, before we finish with her, I did want to point something out that I forgot. These fins on the side are removable. There's a little space up on her shoulder. Blur had it, Brainstorm had it, a little space on her shoulder that has a strange little like pentagon shape on it, a little 5-sided shape. There's a 5-sided peg right there that slots into it. So these can come off if you actually didn't want them on there. But once you put them on and push them in, they're very secure. They're not at all going to just come out or fall off or anything like that. Okay, now on to the mold that I've never done here on the channel. And the third figure in this set is Laser Prime. I skipped the Wave 3 general release of this guy that a lot of people said was like the Spy Changer version. I definitely think that this works best as RID Scourge, which I believe is being released as an exclusive at Tokyo Toy Fair, Toy Show, whatever it is. This is based on the G2 Laser Prime. I'll say this, to me this is a 1 because I'm not a G2 fan. I'm just not, I don't like the look of Prime as a tanker. I don't like the huge shoulder pauldron thing, so I don't like the aesthetic. I know that the original came out in 1995, and I'm gonna say this, in terms of being an homage to that, especially when we're talking about the paint, this is a 10. It was the first time that we had this Western Star style cab on him. It's, you know, I know that there's a lot of sticker detail. A lot of people complain about stickers peeling off. I've done this guy a few times now. These stickers don't seem to be peeling off. They seem pretty good, actually, and he looks kind of stellar. I will admit, he really does look pretty stellar. It's just, I'm not into that style of Optimus. It's just not my thing. That's all. But I'm going to try and be as impartial as I can. The original mold was in fact used for Scourge. It was also supposed to be used, as I understand it, for Toxitron. Most recently, that mold from 20 years ago was used a couple of years ago as the Year of the Goat Optimus. Remember that clear plastic thingy? And now we have, we'll say, a proper update to him. Or do we? We'll see in a minute. I'm going to take him out of it. We're going to talk about his accessories really quickly first. Here's the blaster that he comes with. Of course, you could take his head and seat it in here. Obviously better than what I have done right there, but you get the idea. It's, you know, it's an alright blaster. It doesn't really remind me too much of Optimus's. I guess they are sort of trying to go for it, but it's double barreled. It's an okay blaster. And he also comes with this sword, blue translucent plastic. I'm not a big melee weapon fan, but it is a lot of nice molding on this. I thought it was like Alpha Trion's sword. It's not. Anybody, of course, who has the retail release of the mold will already know about this thing, but it looks really nice, I think. And of course, we have an unnamed Titan Master head. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. Totally gray body here. You know, again, it's about a 2, nothing spectacular. We close it over and we have what is actually a really nice Optimus head sculpt. The baby blue, of course, is too bright for me, but anybody who's into, like I said, that G2 era, this is a really, really, really nice head sculpt. Really nice head sculpt. I can see the appeal. I really can understand the appeal of it. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. Now he doesn't have a name. I guess you could call him. You could call him Diac. If you don't have the other one, you know, you could call him High Q. If you don't have, like, you know, the Power Master Prime. I guess you could even call him Ginrai. You could call him Scourge, Toxitron. I suppose you could even call it Magnus or Optimus. There's a lot of names possible for this guy. Bringing the main body back in. The weapon storage is not great. There's a hole back right here that you can, you know, place the sword on, going along the side. And I guess this blaster can go placed on in the hole on the other side. Oh, I don't have, see where I was fiddling with him, that should be up. He does roll like a champion in his tanker mode. What cracks me up is the stickers on the side seem to show Optimus using like a flamethrower. Doesn't really seem like a Autobot leader-esque type of thing to do, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Up here opens, no, from this end I guess. Up here opens, you can put, you know, the Titan Master in right there, no problem. Taking this off and taking this off and laying them aside again. Now, everybody knows that this guy's a triple changer, but he's not. He's actually a quad changer. You might say, a quad changer? Okay, how so? Because he is this mode, robot mode, plane of course, and he is a base. He can homage that original kind of base mode. So we're gonna look at all of those modes. Actually, what will we do first? I guess we'll do the base mode first because it's easy to get to from here. And that's probably the best way to kind of approach this guy. So we begin by splitting the legs and pulling these panels out on the side. These panels on the side are connected by a gray armature in here. Worth noting. Take those panels and flip them like that, and take the whole leg and bring it out to the side. Flip the panel up, leg all the way out to the side. Bring the wings forward for now. The feet and shin sections, actually I guess I should show it this way. The feet and shin sections, take that and flip it around. Take that and flip it around. And now this is what we have so far. The wing pieces here, you want to bring it up and out, and bring it up and out, and kind of get them up as far as you can, and fold those down. This is what we have so far. Actually, I guess before that I should open this up, because this needs to go opened up. This is what we have so far for his base mode. I'll try and bring it in here a little bit more. So far I see what they're going for. I think it's pretty cool. Next, split right there and bring out the tail fin for the plane mode. Bring those two pieces out and split the main tail fin and bring it out and bring that all the way down and over. So now he has like a cannon up right here. Then you want to turn this around and turn this around so that the two front tires are facing each other, and bring the truck together on top. You want to flip out the hand, and flip out the hand, and you will take the sword and place it in the top of the blaster section here. And then using the two posts on either side of the blaster, you're going to sandwich them in the hands. And there he is in base mode. Truth is, I think it's pretty convincing for that original base mode. I dig it. I really do. In terms of a Voyager base mode, I think this is one of the more successful ones. Okay, it's also perhaps an unofficial mode. I think it was kind of put in as an Easter egg. So, taking that out again. Now we'll go into his plane mode. Put that down and turn it around. Put that fist down and turn it around just like the truck. Take these legs and bring them back. Flip out this and this from inside the thighs and turn these around to give us the nose of the plane. Bring these pieces together and bring these panels back up on the sides. And they will tab in right here and then tab into each other going down along the top there. And that's what we have so far. Take this piece and fold it down, and this truck piece and fold it down on the sides. And it looks like this. I guess we'll close this piece up. Maybe we won't. Yes, we will. Close that piece up for now. We're going to take that chest piece and fold it up. Straighten this out. This tail fin. Close up the two halves of that main tail fin. They go together there in the center. And now this fin is on an arm here. Mine was very, very tight at a package. I couldn't really move it, and the instructions just say to push it straight forward, but you don't. You sort of angle it down to push it forward. And then the tail sort of just sits like that. And now comes the most challenging part. And that's dealing with the wings. Because you have to do a series of flips really to get the wings the way you want them. So we have the wings out and just kind of flailing around up right here. So what do we do to get these wings the way we want them? Well, we take it and bring it over. We flip it out. And then we should be able to bring it to the side. Maybe not. Oh. This is easily the one part of this guy that is the least fun. Trying to deal with these wings. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's try this again. So you have the wings out. And this is the way they would come out from sandwiched in between. It's not the way I had them left from the base mode. When you pull them up, this is what you get. You want to split them out to the side using this hinge way up in the body here. Then you want to flip it over and then flip it back around. Flip it over, across the body, and then flip it back around. And now we have, once I straighten these up a little bit, now we have Optimus in his plane mode. This is definitely his weakest mode, and this front does not like, on mine anyway, to quite stay tabbed together. It likes to pop apart. This is definitely the weakest mode. There's no doubt about it. It's a plane. I can see what they're going for. And by the way, I'll point this out now. his sticker on the side says Optimus Prime. Aren't these supposed to be robots in disguise? He's saying his name and there's a picture of him on the side of the tanker truck. That's not very in disguise to me. But still, you know, I guess it's kind of cool that they fit this mode in. Obviously it works better for Octane, but the big frustration with his transformation is dealing with these wings. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So now we're going to go into the robot mode. And going to the robot mode, if we come underneath here, we can see how a lot of it is, to be honest with you, already. So we're going to come here and split the legs, and we're going to pull out those arms, just so we have some room to work. And we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Oh, actually we want to take these panels out from the side first. The tanker panels that are on that gray hinge, take those out from the side first. Angle them down on this gray hinge and bring them all the way down, because they are going to make the side of his thigh. Turn the nose of the plane around and bring that back up into the leg. Turn the nose of the plane around and bring that back up into the leg. There, now he's not quite as tall. Now, begin to bring around his calf sections. Flip out the foot and bring it the rest of the way down. Same over here. Flip out the foot and bring it the rest of the way down. And now we have the lower body of Optimus done. Flip the whole chest piece around, and on his window sections on his chest it says Optimus Prime again. Kind of pretentious, Prime, kind of pretentious. Flip out a hand and come over here and flip out a hand. And now bring that arm down, orient it, bring this arm down and orient it. And you can see how this guy is definitely coming together. Bring for stock anyway, bring the shoulder pieces up and turn them all the way around so that these two gray molded in pieces are facing forward. Same over here, bring it up, turn it all the way around so that they are facing forward. And then we gotta come to the back again. And we need to get these wings up higher, and this will go down over. So we split this just like we did for base mode. And for now, we're just gonna leave it like that. That's all that we got done so far, but I wanna really try and focus and show you the way that these wings go. So you take it, and you flip these all the way up on the hinge innermost by the black centerpiece. Flip that up. Bring this piece up, and you want to go like that. So you bring this piece up, this wing up, flip it out, and over. I'll show that again. It's down like this from the plane mode. You bring it up. And again, kind of across the body. You flip it out, so now the top of the wing is what's out here. And then you fold it in and fold that one in. And then this piece here will, make sure they're folded in. This piece here will extend out and fold down over the back. Finally, we put in the Titan Master, and there we have Laser Prime, all done. He can hold his blaster just fine in his hand. Either hand is the same, it's quite nice and tight. The sword fits more loosely. I don't think it's gonna come out, but like, you know, you can turn it around in his hand. It is definitely looser. I don't really see anywhere to store the weapons other than in his hands. I'm not gonna say there isn't, It's just I don't initially see it here. So the articulation for this guy, paint apps, like I said, they're a 10 based on the original use of this mold. The head goes left and right, not really any up or down, just a slight wiggle. The arms can go way out to the side, both of them can, of course. We have a bicep swivel, we have almost a 90-degree elbow bend. The wrist can go in. I'll deal with the shoulders in a minute. The legs can go all the way out to the side. They can go all well forward and well back. Nice bend at the knee of 90 degrees. Swivel. You can't, I guess you could move the feet ever so slightly for just a monicum of ankle tilt. You can press that to bring up the side ear pieces if you want that. I don't really dig it, but to each their own. Now, the shoulders. The shoulders can only go forward that far because they bang into the wing piece, but it can kind of go back around that far. So you do get a fair range of movement with them, but the wing pieces do sort of mess it up. So, that being said, I wanted to do something different to try and make the shoulders a little more palatable. So what did I do? I bring this up, first of all, and then these I straighten out like this. And then I turn them and bring them in like this. I turn them and bring them in like this. It is a bit different. It does stick off, there's no doubt. I close this up and I close these up and I bring this whole piece just down and over like that. I turn these out to the side and bring it back, and I take this one and turn it out to the side and I bring it back. Now he has a little bit more, I think, of an Optimus silhouette. It works nicely for me. And because he has this Optimus silhouette, now his arms can go all the way around 360. Even if the backpack is a little bit egregious. So, articulation stock the way he's supposed to be. I'm going to give it about a 7.5 because the shoulders are kind of hindersome, and even if you can get them to move further, pieces sort of bang off and whatnot. I don't like the shoulders, and he lacks a waist. There is no waist articulation on this guy. So I would say about a 7.5. With my little mod, even though it makes the backpack, it might be an 8. Just because it works better for me. Transformation, that's about a 7.5 as well, because dealing with those wings is nothing but a pain. But what is really cool about it is that he can do both the base and the truck. So we had, say, a 7.5, a 7.5, and a 10. This guy's a solid 8.5. So we have a 10 for Rodimus Prime, we have a 9.5 for Nautica, and now an 8.5 for Laser Prime. And I know he took some time, but don't worry, because the next one I've already looked at in a different review, so I don't need to take the time to go through the transformations. I'm just going to show you the modes. And of course I'm talking about the 6-changer, Quickswitch. And here we are with Quickswitch, the moody Quickswitch, who is somewhat chaotic and kind of off the wall. His moods change just as quickly as he can switch between his 6 modes. He's the son of 6 shots, so I'd be a little disgruntled too if my dad was a Decepticon. The only time he really appeared in any series was during that G2 era. In one of the episodes where Optimus was explaining a story to that kid, I don't even remember his name, nor do I care. And at the end of one of those episodes, Optimus said that he had to leave because he had to help Quickswitch test, I think, like a Cybertron security system, something like that. Quickswitch was recolored. The same mold was used in Japan as Six Knight. Six Knight was part of the Master Force series, but he was the same mold, just recolored, that we knew as this guy. And Six Shot, Six Knight, and Great Shot from the Victory series were all part of the Six Clan, who apparently rules the galaxy. Who knew? Who knew? I have a Autobot and a Decepticon version of this mold. I don't think I would be in for any other further uses of it, to be honest with you. There's not really any point. Fun fact, Great Shot was a friend of Black Shadow and Blue Bacchus, but we all know, I guess, how that went. Also, a couple of years ago, I believe that the More Than Meets the Eye comic introduced another Six Changer. Great Six, maybe? And I believe that he operated under Death Source. If I'm not mistaken, again, if I'm wrong, somebody can, point that out to me, I guess. So, the modes that Quickswitch is supposed to have, this is number one. His hovercraft, right? No. This is a reuse and a repaint of Six Shot. So this is the car mode and it rolls like a champion, but already a strike against this guy because it's supposed to be a hovercraft and it's not. So we're going to go right on to mode number 2. And here we have mode 2 of his Cybertronic jet. Okay, I can buy this one. By the way, if you're interested in actually seeing the transformations, I looked at Six Shot and it's the exact same. I looked at Six Shot in episode 228, so you can see the full transformations there. Cybertronic jet, this one is a win, but the instructions have you leave the treads of the, I guess, the tank section down there. When you do that, the wings cannot tab in. So, I would take that and bring it up on the side so that see if I can show this, there's a little space. There's a little space in here and a little tab right here on the wing. That little tab on the wing needs to go into that space to lock, and just listen. Just like that. I would do the same thing over here. Bring the tread up on the side. Lock that wing in. His weapons here, by the way, the exact same that came with Six Shot. But it looks good. I love the interplay of the colors. I think the colors are brilliant on this guy. Such a great homage to his original. Okay, so we have one mode that got replaced, and we have one mode that was a success. Let's go to the next one and see if that one is a winner as well. Drill tank mode. No. Just no, this isn't a drill tank. It's a cool tank, but it's not a drill tank. By the way, the blasters attached to the sides, they have a little rectangular hole in them. There's a little rectangular peg that it goes on over. This is also what you would want him in order to have him attached to Fort Max. We'd bring up this wing piece and the connector is right here. But drill tank, just no. Definitely not. Okay, next mode. And of course we all know that that is his classic submarine. Not exactly, but by now, unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that if you go like this, you do get something more classic. That, of course, being his blaster mode. And that works really, really well, honestly. It does. It looks great. It's pretty fantastic. That being said, a lot of people make a mistake with the transformation, and they leave this animal head all the way down. That's not actually what you're supposed to do. There is, on the side of the head, there's a little molded in rectangular tab. And that little molded in rectangular tab has a corresponding slot right there on the wing. So you would bring that up and you sandwich it in, and it makes this whole centerpiece here a lot tighter and stable. So this works better. That works good. I like it. I really do. I would call that one a rousing success. On to number 5. Flying wolf, flying puma, whatever. It's a 4-legged beast. And I appreciate that the head, I do believe, is remolded. There's 2 little starts up right here that go into these 2 little holes on his blaster to give him, if I can get them on, to give him his, and I just knocked it off, to give him his tail, I guess. You know, the legs can move out to the side and bend back, the toes and the heel pieces there can tilt. You know, the shoulders of the animal can go all the way around. You still have an elbow here. The toes tilt. The head can move up and down. The mouth opens. By the way, if you've been wondering, where's the Titan Master integration on this guy? It is down here. You would just put it in right there. So there you go. And of course there's other pegs and whatnot on them. So there you go. Animal Puma success. On to the last mode. And of course the last mode is robot mode. Oh, excuse me, I forgot one little thing. You pick up his helmet, you take your Titan Master, you put it in, you bring the helmet piece back down. Now he's a complete robot. You know, head, left, right, a little bit. These pieces move, which is great, so that you can actually swing the arms all the way around. The arms go out about that far. Nice 90 degrees at the elbow. There's a swivel, nothing at the hands, nothing at the waist, but the legs go forward. They go back about that far because this piece does not move. You have a bend at the knee just under 90, but of course because of the animal mode they can bend up like that, which is weird. The toes tilt, the heel tilts, he's very solid, out to the side all the way. Considering that this guy has to do so much, I think it's such a great mold, such a success. I loved it as 6-shot, I love it as this guy. So, coloring 10. It is no doubt that it's Quickswitch. Articulation, for what it is and for everything it does, I gotta give it a solid 9. It's not perfect, no, but it's fun and there's so many options with him. And transformation, believe it or not that difficult to go between modes and whatnot. I'm gonna give that a 9. I think this guy is a solid 9.25. He's really good. So we have a 10. We have a 9.5. We have a good 8.5, and now a 9.25. It's a good set so far. Even though I understand the complaint that he's a car instead of a hovercraft, and a regular tank instead of a drill tank. But I mean, the Cybertronic jet, the Puma, the laser, and the robot mode all seem really great. I personally would call his head either 6 Knight or Great Shot or Great 6. That's what I would go with for a name for his unnamed Titan Master. It's fantastic. So now let's move to the very last one in the set, the only new mold in the set, that of course being Fastclash. Fastclash, of course, is renamed from Fastlane, one of the Autobot clones, the one that turns into the Cybertronian race car. I like him. I do enjoy him, but everybody said, he's not a Legends class, he's his own size. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's a Legends, please. Come on. He is a Legends class. Now, some could argue and say, Well, no, he's a bit bigger there than Braun. It's just because he pretty much stays elongated in vehicle mode. He doesn't really fold up. I don't think that really constitutes him being his own size class personally. And we'll see more with his size class in just a few minutes. But he is pretty great. By the way, I looked at Braun in full in episode 270 and the custom work that I did on him. He rolls like a champion. Absolutely fantastic. His paint, 10. It is Fastclash, or Fastlane, if you will. Transformation. Flip that up. Turn the whole section around because it's attached to his head, which is a little unfortunate, I think. Flip these arms out to the side. Flip up the toes, split the legs. You're all but done now, because the only thing left to do is to turn the spoiler around and flip it down and bring out his fist here and bring out his fist over there. And there you go. A bit of an underwhelming transformation. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give his transformation... it's fun to flip back and forth, but it's really, really simple. I got to give it about a 6. I really do. But the articulation does kind of make up for it. Now, the head goes left and right, but you got to remember it's attached to the spoiler, so it is somewhat limited. That's a bit of a shame. But the arms are on ball joints that can go all the way around. They're very tight joints. He will hold his poses fantastically. Ball joint at the elbow to give you more than 90 degrees and a swivel. Arms go all the way out to the side. Legs also go all the way out to the side. Nothing at the waist. Legs can go forward. They can go back. Nice deep knee, over 90 degrees a little bit. The toes and stuff tilt, but then we get to something peculiar. Look on the back here. We have a hinge here and a hinge here, and his legs can do this. Now, why they can do this, I have no idea. Unless it is part of the tooling used for Pounce or Wingspan or Cloudraker. Because I really feel like we're going to get one of these with each box set. We already know Pounce is coming in the strength set. I believe Cloudraker will be in another one, probably with some version of God Bomber, and I don't know what Wingspan will come out with. But I feel like this is some pre-tooling for an upcoming use of this mold. Or it might be a way for this guy to actually integrate with Cloudraker to kind of combine and become one figure, because we do have a piece coming down here that has a space in it that something could certainly plug into. That being said, if you are wondering, well, when you move his legs, will those sections just come out? No, they're actually quite tight. Like I said, everything on this guy is very tight. Articulation, 9. Everything is so tight. Transformation, 6, because it's uninspired. The coloring, 10. Overall, he's about an 8. He's pretty good. Here he is with Bumblebee. I'm sorry, he's a legend. Maybe you would say, yeah, no, he's a half an inch taller or something like that, and be like, hey, that makes him his own size class. I don't think so. I think it's safe to say that he is a legend. His own size class, probably a technicality. So, overall score for him, like I said, about an 8. But he looks really good and he's so solid. He's actually fun. Uninspired, but fun. Okay, so I'm going to take a second. We're going to bring them all back on screen. I'm going to give you a final score for the whole set. Okay, so what do we think of the Chaos on Velocitron, gift set here as a whole? They're good figures. They are. If you know the molds and you like the molds, then you'll like these figures. There's no doubt about it. We have a 10, we have a 9.5, we have an 8.5, an 8, and another 9.25. Overall, I'd say that it's safe to say that this set is somewhere between 8.75 and 9. It is a good set with good figures. But is it worth full price? Well, to be fair, I got this on sale, and a couple of these figures are no longer mine because I split them with a couple of people. This is a wonderful set. If you only want a couple from it, this is a wonderful set to split. This is a wonderful set to get on sale. I feel like the asking price is just, that premium is just slightly high. I wouldn't hesitate if I saw it on sale of picking it up and giving it a good recommendation for that. I think you'll enjoy it. For regular retail, it might be a little bit, but that being said, it depends on your value for money, and if you are really interested in all 5 of these guys, I think that you will not have to worry about something like buyer's remorse. I really don't. I think that you will have them and enjoy them all. For me, my only personal interest is in Fastclash and Quickswitch. The rest of them gonna be out the door, but I can't say that it's because they're bad toys. It's just because I don't really have an interest in them for my personal taste in my collection. It's a good set and I like it. Anyway, if you've gotten this far, I very, very much appreciate you giving me some of your valuable time. I look forward to, hearing what you guys think of all of these guys. And I guess the only thing left to say is thanks for giving me some of your time, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the video.